Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steelers urged to reload defense, pair Minkah Fitzpatrick with fellow ex-All-Pro. The Pittsburgh Steelers failed to score more than 17 points in any of their final 5 games this past season. Because of that fact, it would make sense for the team to prioritize offense in free agency. But CBS Sports' Jordan Dajani went in a different direction. He argued the Steelers should make it a priority to sign free agent safety Talanoa Hufanga. Hufanga was named an All-Pro in 2022 after recording 4 interceptions, 9 passes defensed and 2 sacks to go along with 97 combined tackles, but unfortunately tore his ACL late in the 2023 season, Dajani wrote. Can you imagine what Pittsburgh's defense could be capable of with Minkah Fitzpatrick and Hufanga roaming the secondary? If both players return to their peak form in 2025, Minkah Fitzpatrick and Hufanga together would form the best safety tandem in the league. Fitzpatrick and Hufanga both arguably experienced their best NFL seasons in 2022. Fitzpatrick was tied for the league lead with 6 interceptions. He also had 96 combined tackles and 11 pass defenses, earning his 3rd first-team All-Pro nomination. Hufanga was the other AP first-team All-Pro safety in 2022. Since then, though, both safeties have dealt with injuries. Hufanga suffered a torn ACL in November 2023. As a result, he missed the end of the 2023 campaign and the start of 2024. Fitzpatrick sat out 7 games in 2023 because of hamstring and knee ailments. However, he did still make the 2023 Pro Bowl and played in all 17 contests during 2024, which was another Pro Bowl season for Fitzpatrick. But over his last 29 NFL games, including the playoffs, Fitzpatrick only has 1 interception. To get back to his All-Pro level, Fitzpatrick will have to record more takeaways in 2025. Pairing him with another elite safety could open up Fitzpatrick to roam more freely in the Steelers' secondary. There's one obvious flaw in the logic that pairing Fitzpatrick with an elite strong safety will allow him to roam free. The Steelers arguably already did that in 2024 with the Deshaun Elliott signing. Elliott played very well in his first season with the Steelers, particularly in run defense. Pro Football Focus ranked Elliott 8th in run defense among safeties who played at least 50% of his team's defensive snaps last season. Yet, Fitzpatrick only intercepted 1 pass. According to PFF, Elliott actually played better than Fitzpatrick, who wasn't even a top 10 defender for the Steelers in 2024 based on the analytical website. Fitzpatrick didn't post a poor grade in any one PFF category. But he didn't excel in any during 2024 either. On January 13, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Paul Zeese argued the Steelers should trade Fitzpatrick. He is a luxury item and not worth the salary he is being paid, wrote Zeese. Trade him, free up the money, get a couple of picks back and invest in cornerbacks. The Athletic's Mike DeFabua also named Fitzpatrick an off-season trade candidate on January 14. If the Steelers are interested in Hufanga, trading Fitzpatrick is probably a more likely scenario than a pairing. Elliott is signed through the 2025 season, so if the Steelers want to pair Fitzpatrick with Hufanga, then they'd have to move on from Elliott. But the Steelers are unlikely to do that if they view Elliott as better than Fitzpatrick going forward. Pittsburgh could trade Fitzpatrick and then sign Talanoa Hufanga to replace him. But those 2 safeties play different styles, so that plan might not work either. The fact the 2 safeties play differently is why Dajani suggested them as a pairing. Steelers' Russell Wilson speaks out on possible Pete Carroll reunion with Raiders. Quarterback Russell Wilson continued to stress on February 1 that he wants his future to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even when asked about the potential to play again for his former head coach Pete Carroll, Wilson remained steadfast in his desire to be back in black and gold. Pete's going to be a great coach, obviously. He's great at what he does, Wilson said at the Pro Bowl games weekend. But I'm focused on the Steelers. I'm looking forward to hopefully going back to the Steelers, and we'll see what happens with the rest. I love it in Pittsburgh. Wilson will be an unrestricted free agent in March. When the Las Vegas Raiders hired his former head coach, rumors began connecting Wilson with Las Vegas. Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks drafted Wilson in the third round of the 2012 NFL Draft. Wilson played 9 seasons under Carroll in Seattle. Wilson started his Steelers tenure 6-1. Since then, he's talked about returning to Pittsburgh on a multi-year contract. The veteran signal caller signed a 1-year deal for league minimum with the Steelers last offseason. That's because the Denver Broncos were going to pay him about $39 million minus the difference on his next contract. So, Wilson elected to sign for the cheapest deal possible to benefit his new team. That benefit, though, is now gone. Wilson will be seeking fair market value, which Spotrac estimated as a 2-year, $77.5 million contract, giving him a $38.7 million average annual salary. Wilson ended his first season with the Steelers on an extremely sour note, losing the last 5 games. Still, all he has really talked about is returning. Love my teammates. Best days are ahead, Wilson wrote on January 22 in a quote tweet of a video showing an interview he did on the Pat McAfee Show. During that interview, Wilson stressed how much he wants to be back with the Steelers. Wilson isn't the only Steelers free agent quarterback that has publicly said he wants to return. Backup Justin Fields has also emphasized how much he enjoyed the 2024 season and has a desire to be back. The salary cap will restrict the team from signing both Wilson and Fields. Therefore, the Steelers will have to pick one of the quarterbacks. Wilson is the more accomplished NFL signal caller. But he is also 10 years older, and Fields has more raw talent. Fields started the first 6 games of the 2024 season, going 4-2. He displayed better accuracy and limited his turnovers, which were both problems in his early years with the Chicago Bears. It's possible that the Steelers could elect to start completely new at quarterback and bring back neither veteran. But owner Art Rooney too told the media on January 27 that he would prefer either Wilson or Fields' return. He didn't, however, indicate if he had a preference over one of them. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac has reported multiple times that the Steelers will re-sign Fields. Dulac has also reported that the team will select a quarterback in the middle rounds of the draft. Pittsburgh Steelers could target standout Jaguars wide receiver. The Pittsburgh Steelers could look to target Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Christian Kirk this offseason. Kirk, who could be released by the Jaguars, was nearly traded to the Steelers in the middle of the season before suffering a season-ending broken collarbone. That set the negotiations for a trade at a pause, and the Steelers had to pivot to Mike Williams instead. However, Kirk makes plenty of sense with the current state of the team's wide receiver room, and he would slot in nicely next to George Pickens. Not only is Kirk young enough to be part of the team's future, but he also would not break the bank to the point where the Steelers could either not extend Pickens or go out and make another free agency splash. Over his career with the Arizona Cardinals and Jaguars, Kirk has amassed over 5,000 receiving yards and 29 receiving touchdowns. In Jacksonville, he primarily played in the slot, but the Steelers could use him inside and outside to help boost their room. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Christian Kirk? Leave your opinion in the comments.